Today we are going to talk about assets, liabilities, and net worth. Here are a few vocabulary words that we're going to review first. Assets are things that you own, so it's in your possession. You own them, no one else has any ownership over it. Liabilities are debts that you owe, so someone paid something for you and you owe them money back. Net worth is the value of assets minus liabilities. So the stuff that you own minus the stuff that you owe. Here are some examples of assets and liabilities. So assets could be cash, bank accounts, value of house, investments, value of car, jewelry. Liabilities are mortgage, which means house payment, car loan, credit card balances, and student loan. One very important note is your variable monthly bills are not liabilities. So the electricity, the internet, water bill, gas, cable, satellite, so on and so forth, those are not liabilities. Now you can determine your net worth by adding all of your assets together. Then you add all your liabilities together, and then you subtract the two values. So again, our formula, assets minus liabilities equals net worth. So here's our first example. It says the table shows some of Max's assets and liabilities. Use the table below to classify each item as an asset or liability. Then find the value of his net worth. So the first line here says cash or savings. So that's stuff that Max has. He owns it, no one else does. So that is an asset. Now, the next one, credit card debt. Debt is something that we owe. That's a very important word. Stuff we owe. So since we owe it, it's a liability. Now the next one, furniture that we own. Well, own means it's an asset. Student loan. So loan means that we owe money. Someone paid for our school, and now we owe them back. So that is a liability. Anytime we owe is a liability. The next one, your car that's paid off, you own it. So again, own, paid off, that is completely yours. So it is an asset. Again, if you own it, no one else has any ownership over it, it is yours. And the last one, clothes. So that is stuff that you have. It's not on a credit card, none of that. You own the clothes. Since you own it, it is an asset. So now we have to do the second part, which is to find the value of his net worth. So we're going to put the assets over here. We're going to put the liabilities over here. We have to add up all of the assets and all of the liabilities. So the first asset is 376. First liability, 1,295. Next one is an asset for 207. Let's go ahead and add. 6 plus 7 is 13. Carry the 1. 7 and 1 is 8. 3 and 2 is 5. So the next one is a liability, and that's 1,800. Let's go ahead and add. 3,095. All right, now the next one for our car is 1,500. It's an asset. Line up the decimals is very important here. And the last one, our clothes, for 875. $2,958. So let's plug in what we know. $2,958 minus $3,095. Now here's where our positive and negative addition and subtraction is come in very handy. We need to know our assets is our positives, liabilities are negatives. So since our assets are smaller than our liabilities, our net worth is going to be a negative. We know that for sure. Since the liability is bigger number here, our net worth is going to be a negative. Now from there, we just need to subtract like normal. 3,095, the bigger number on top, minus 2,958. We need to borrow. Borrow again. To get $137. So again, this person has a negative net worth of $137, meaning he owes more than he owns. So here's our second example. It says below is a list of Jordan's assets and liabilities. We are supposed to construct a net worth statement to determine if she has a positive or negative net worth. So we have a table up here that has a bunch of different things. We need to go through and determine if it's an asset or liability. I'm going to do that by writing a little A or L out here to the side, just to help us separate. So the first thing, a house. We own this house. It tells us we own it. It is ours. That is an asset. So we put an A. The next thing is a car loan. Anytime someone loans you money, you have to pay them back. So you owe. Since you owe them, it is a liability. Same thing for a boat loan. Anytime there's a loan, you owe someone else money. So it's a liability. Same thing with debt. When you have credit card debt or any type of debt, someone gave you money and you're going to have to eventually give it back. So that's a liability. Savings, that means it's in your bank account. It is yours. No one can touch it. It is just yours. Since it's yours and you own it, it's an asset. Cash, that could be in your wallet, in your pocket, at home, in a safe. It is yours. That cash is just yours, so that's an asset. And your student loan. Again, it's a loan. Someone paid for your school. You have to pay them back eventually, so that is a liability. Now we need to put it into the table below. So we're going to go one by one. Assets go here with their values here. Liabilities here with their value here. So I'm going to go color code a little bit. Assets, first one, a house that you own. And the value is $42,365. Next one's a liability. It's a car loan. And that is $980. The next one is a boat loan. So I'm going to write that here on a liability. That is for $2,200. The next one, credit card debt. That is for $3,298. Next one's a savings for $1,255. Next one, cash. It's an asset for $355. And the last one is student loan. For $1,500. So now we have to add all of these up. So I'm going to start with the assets over here. First one, $42,365. 365. We're adding 1,255. So we get 43,620, and we still have to add the cash, 355. So the total for the assets is 43,975. Now we have to do the liabilities. So the first one, 980, and the next one, 2,200. Add these together. 3,180. Adding the credit card debt, which is 3,298. $6,478. Then we still have to add the student loan, 1,500. For 7,978. So since our instructions say just to construct a net worth statement, that means we don't actually have to do all the extra math. We've done enough so far. So we would put our assets, which is 43,975. We're subtracting by our liabilities, which is 7,978. So really just wanted the assets minus our liabilities. So that's what a net worth statement is just assets minus liabilities, not actually doing all that extra math. Now it does want us to determine if it is a positive or negative net worth. We can tell that by which one is bigger, assets or liabilities. Since the assets are bigger here, she is going to have a positive net worth. Again, since the assets are bigger, that's more that you own, it's a positive net worth. If the liabilities were bigger, it would be a negative net worth.